This once stood as the ultimate symbol of elite luxury, the S.K. Pierce Mansion. Its owner, an industry tycoon in the furniture business, hosted renowned guests such as President Calvin Coolidge and the founding father of the circus, P.T. Barnum. But what is the story that turned this dream mansion into a hub of lost souls with the nickname, the Mansion of Never-Ending Tragedies? Hit that like and subscribe button, and join me as we travel back to 1870, where our story begins. In that year, Sylvester Knowlton Pierce, or S.K. Pierce, was a mogul in the furniture industry. He was so wealthy that the town of Gardner at the time was nicknamed Chair City, thanks to his empire. With his immense fortune, Pierce wanted to build a symbol of his power. He commissioned the construction of a Victorian mansion, spanning nearly 7,000 square feet, about 650 meters square. It was an architectural masterpiece of its time. 10 bedrooms, 11-foot-high ceilings, marble fireplaces throughout, and intricate wooden carvings, meticulously handcrafted by over 100 builders for a year and a half. This was a home far ahead of its time, featuring gas lighting and running water systems, true luxuries in the late 19th century. Pierce hoped this would be a happy haven for his beloved wife, Susan, and their son. Sadly, just weeks after moving into this splendid home, Susan Pierce suddenly fell ill. A mysterious bacterial infection ravaged her body and took her life before she could even enjoy the new house. But this death seemed like a dark curse cast upon the mansion, marking the beginning of a chain of tragedies that would last over a century. In 1888, S.K. Pierce himself passed away right inside the mansion, leaving behind his much younger wife, Ellen, who was 30 years his junior, and 3 sons amidst a fierce battle for inheritance. After Ellen's death, Pierce's 3 sons began to fight over the estate. Discord tore their family apart. Ultimately, the youngest son, Edward Pierce, gained control of the house, but Edward lacked his father's business acumen, and tragedy continued to strike. Edward's own precious 2-year-old daughter, little Rachel, also died in the house from a bacterial infection, just like her grandmother Susan years before. Then, the Great Depression hit. The family fortune was lost, and Edward was so destitute that he was forced to turn his father's magnificent mansion into a boarding house. From here, the elegance of the elite was replaced by illicit activities. The house became a hotspot for gambling, bootleg alcohol, and prostitution. The rooms that once welcomed a president now harbored addicts, thugs, and working girls. It was during this dark period that the most shocking deaths occurred. Legend says that in a second-floor room known as the Red Room, a female sex worker was strangled to death. The killer was never caught, and the poor girl's death was likely concealed and never reported. But her spirit could not be silenced. That's not all. There's also the story of a young boy who tragically drowned in the basement, and even more chillingly, later owners who renovated the house discovered fragments of a woman's pelvis buried beneath the cold basement floor. Could those be the remains of the sex worker from years ago? Or the victim of another crime we have yet to know? Among all the deaths at S.K. Pierce Mansion, there is one case that chills even the most skeptical. That is the story of Aino Saari. In 1963, Aino Saari, a Finnish veteran, was renting a room here. One night, he was found burned alive, right in his bed, in the master bedroom. What is strange? The fire incinerated his body beyond recognition, but the rest of the room was virtually undamaged. The mattress was charred, but the fire did not spread to the curtains or the surrounding furniture. Police concluded it was due to a cigarette, but the crime scene bore all the hallmarks of spontaneous human combustion. To this day, visitors entering that room often smell the acrid odor of burnt flesh and smoke, Even though nothing is currently burning, it is Ino's painful memory still imprinted in the space. With a bloody history, including 7 recorded deaths, spanning illness, accident, and murder, it's no surprise that the S.K. Pierce mansion became a hotbed of paranormal activity. But what is truly frightening here is that the ghosts don't just appear to scare. They possess the ability to exert physical force and attack people. Visitors and investigators frequently report being forcefully shoved. One guest was once pushed down the stairs by an unseen force. Another was terrified to recount that they were nearly thrown out of a third-floor window by some entity. The sounds here are also extremely aggressive. People often hear a lion-like growling sound that shakes the entire house. Many believe this is the angry spirit of S.K. Pierce, showing his displeasure at seeing his cherished home turned into a place of vice and now a tourist attraction. One of the most terrifying pieces of evidence ever recorded is an EVP recording that says, "Squeeze every throat." Imagine standing in the dark and hearing a voice whisper in your ear that it wants to strangle you. It must be frightening beyond measure. To help you understand the level of danger in this house, listen to the story of Lillian Otero and Edwin Gonzalez. In 2009, this couple purchased the mansion with the intention of making it their home. They were completely unaware of its dark history. Just weeks after moving in, their honeymoon with the house turned into a living nightmare. It began with whispers, then chanting sounds echoing in the night. Later, there were screams and loud banging on the bedroom walls. They saw apparitions walking the halls, calling their names, beckoning to them. But the most terrifying was a female entity with black hair and a wicked smile. Lillian recounted that she frequently saw this woman. She didn't just observe, she wanted possession. There were times Lillian felt spiritually attacked, as if the entity was trying to enter her body, to take over her mind. Neighbors also reported seeing a blonde boy running back and forth between the house's windows. Even though the couple had no children, the mental and physical terror lasted until Edwin and Lillian could only bear it for exactly 2 years. In 2011, they were forced to flee the house to save their lives and their sanity. Their story was later written into the book, Bones in the Basement. So, who truly governs the S.K. Pierce mansion? Besides the angry owner S.K. Pierce and the self-immolated Ino, the house has other residents. There is Maddie Cornwall, the devoted nanny of the Pierce family. Unlike the other darker entities, Maddie is believed to be a protective spirit. She remains to watch over the house and restrain the other malevolent entities. Many psychics sense a positive and sheltering energy from her. There is little Rachel, the 2-year-old who died young, still running and playing on the 3rd floor. Her giggles and the sound of her tiny footsteps are often heard. And of course, there are the darker entities, the ones lurking in the basement, where secret tunnels once led to the furniture factory across the street, now filled in. These tunnels, along with the strong sulfur smell that often appears, lead many to believe that there is a demonic presence here. Today, the S.K. Pierce mansion has new owners. They have opened the house for historical tours and even allow overnight stays for the bravest individuals. Thousands of people from all over the world have signed up for the waiting list to experience a night here. But ask yourself, do you dare? Do you dare to sleep in the room where Ino was consumed by fire? Do you dare to step down into the basement where bones were once found? Or face the black-haired woman with the devilish grin? Share your thoughts in the comments section. And don't forget to like and subscribe so we can meet again at the next haunted house.